So the other tool that we can use on Gravit and also on Illustrator or any vector design software is Shape Tool. So Shape Tool means that you can choose from some pre-made shapes. These are called basic or primitive shapes, and you can just drag them out, resize them, rotate them, reshape them, and all of that good stuff. So I'm gonna skip line just because I would prefer if you guys did align with the pen tool. So we're going to look at pre-made shapes, rectangle, ellipse, polygon, triangle, and then star. So for all of these, you just select a starting point and then drag out your shape like that. What happens when you, as a default, when you make any of these shapes, it's gonna have this gray fill inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and change that. We'll do later on a video on what fills and borders are. But on the right hand side of your screen, towards the middle where it says fill, we're gonna change that from 100% to 0%. I'm gonna press enter, and right underneath where it says borders, I'm gonna press the plus sign, and it gave me a shape that has, it's transparent inside, and it has a border, just like a 1 pixel black border. Anything that I create on my workspace is going to end up here on the left hand side. So I created a rectangle, the rectangle is here, and then my ellipse is on top of the rectangle. As you add stuff to your workspace, it's building up, right? So I created the rectangle first, it's on the bottom, and then my ellipse, let's see, I'm going to move it. Notice how it's on top of my rectangle. You can move a position of an object or a shape on your workspace by moving it around in the layers window here. So now my rectangle is on top of the ellipse. I have a transparent rectangle, and notice that the border is showing through. Earlier it didn't, okay? So same thing here, I'm going to change that to 0%, add a border. Okay, and this, same process for all of them. You drag out a shape. That's a polygon, triangle, and then finally we have star. You can go with the subselect tool if you want to change any of the anchor points. So if I go to pointer and then I do subselect, you can move the anchor points around in a controlled way in case you want to get you can get these kind of effects. You can add, here I'm adding sides. Okay. I'm going to delete everything, and I'm going to show you how to create regular shapes. So a regular triangle, equilateral triangle, how to create a square, and how to create a circle versus an ellipse. So I'm going to do, remember with the path tool, with the pen tool, when I press shift, and I could create either 90-degree, 45-degree angles, or 180 or 0 degree angles. So the same thing for the shape tool. If I don't want a rectangle, let's say I want to make a square, before I even click on the workspace, I'm going to press down on shift, and then I drag out my mouse, and I'm going to have a regular shape. And this regular shape is going to be on the XY axes, so it's going to be orthogonal. Same for ellipse. I don't want an ellipse, I want a circle, so I want an equal radius on every point. So I press shift, I drag out, and I get a circle, a perfect circle. Same for triangle. I press down shift, and then I move my mouse to create a triangle that has all 3 sides that are equal. And I think the same works for polygon. So use shift whenever you want either a regular shape or you want to position it in a way on your workspace where it corresponds to these two axes, so X and Y, which are at a 90-degree angle from one another. Okay, and I think that's it for shape tools. Pretty simple.